What's up guys, it's Captain Rice Productions 72 back with another review on set number 3008, Free Kai's Dragon. So this is a small poly bag from 2011 and it was obtainable in many different ways, which I will list in this video. Primarily it was available in the Sun newspaper in the UK. If you got the tokens in the back of the newspaper you could trade this in for the Lego set. And as far as I believe it was also a promotion at Toys R Us. So yeah, it's pretty cool for what it is. It's one of those ones that you can still buy quite cheaply nowadays. Most of the Ninjago poly bags in general are still quite cheap. They never really went up in value because they were quite easy to obtain. Although the same can't be said for Star Wars poly bags like this that were also easy to obtain, because now those are worth a fortune despite being some of them being very basic. I'm looking at you ones that came with Stormtroopers. So yeah, let's jump into this review with the first mini and only minifigure. So starting with our first minifigure, or I don't know why I keep saying first, I'm not used to reviewing sets with one minifigure. This is Kai. So he is based off the Golden Weapons version, which is basically the start of Ninjago, and this obviously is 2011 first edition. So it's called Golden Weapons, but oddly enough, only has a black sword. I don't think there's that many sets where it actually came with a golden weapon. I think it wasn't till towards the end of 2011 or start of 2012 that actually gave them golden weapons, but it's just the standard black kind of samurai ninja sword, which does have one feature with the minifigure. Let me remove the sword. Looking on the back of his head, you can take the sword and you can stick it on right there. This is a feature that they don't have in any of the modern ninja minifigures. This hood piece though was developed before Ninjago. So I think they were just reusing that piece for the first year or so, because they took it out and you don't actually see a bracket on the back of their heads in the show. So this was just a reuse of another piece that they eventually did away with. So on to detail. At the front he has very basic legs with some, kind of robes tying up as a belt. He has a small little kind of dragon head in gold, which is really nice looking, along with just some, kind of, it just has like, I don't know how to describe them. It kind of looks like ropes, I suppose, has to hold his weapons on and whatnot. If you remove the helmet or mask or hood, whatever you really want to call this piece, there is of course. He has kind of his standard head that they gave all of the Kai versions back then, and no, there was no double-sided head, because even in 2011 that wasn't really a big thing. I think it was starting, but there's not that many 2011 minifigures that actually have that. This is not exclusive. It's in, 90% of the original wave. It's like all those first versions of the ninjas, they're called the Golden Weapons versions, are very common. So the main part of this is the dragon, because it kind of looks like a dragon and kind of doesn't. Suppose, given it's a small build and it was 2011, maybe it can pass as a dragon? I don't know. It is a rather weird looking dragon. So you could stick a minifigure on this if you really wanted to. I mean, the only place it would work is probably if you stuck Kai on the head, but that's honestly a bit weird looking. You can move these kind of wing pieces around. They're just on simple hinges, nothing too crazy about those. So you can see it's quite easy to build. I'd imagine if you were to pause this right now, you could probably figure out how to build it. The head is movable. The head is probably the weirdest looking part of this. Like, I get that's meant to be the mouth and that's probably just meant to be a horn, but it is really weird looking. I do like these pieces at the bottom. That works well. I suppose if you really want to expand the dragon, you probably could, which would be weird. Maybe I could have done with some printing on this piece, because there's plenty of pieces like that get printed. But yeah, it's also got this nice little kind of horn piece on the back as a tail. And just as a quick side note, you do get 3 pieces. You get an extra one of those little horns, a yellow cheese hope, and one of those little black studs, which has the hole through it, which I didn't realise that even back then that was a piece that existed. So here we have the actual poly bag. Yes, it's opened obviously. You get Kai, it can work either 2 ways. He's being chased by the dragon or the dragon's following him. You get some kind of wrecked ground at the bottom, which kind of works. You get some orange also, they're kind of going through like a cave. Got Ninjago, Master of Spinjitzu, it's got the red art because it was 2011, ages 6 to 12 set, 3008 free. Of course on the back you get all your manufacturing details and stuff like that. Alright, here's the instructions, which obviously are going to look like the poly bag itself. Just going to open them up here. As you can see, very, very simple build. It is on two sides. You've got steps 1 through 6 here. Turn it over, you get 7 through 9. It's not the hardest build in the world, obviously, but the instructions are there. And this is one that you could probably build out of parts in your collection. Like, none of these parts, at least that I can see, like, super hard to obtainable. The only unique parts that I can see that aren't in that many sets is probably these black pieces. Alright, conclusion. Really cool, especially like the dragon is alright. I mean, you can either keep the dragon, display the dragon, or even use it for parts. Cause I mean, there's probably parts in there that are useful to someone. Obviously, I think the main draw for this is probably getting the minifigure quite cheap. Although this is not a minifigure that's worth a lot. I think you can actually get all 4 ninja in their golden weapons outfits for like what, £15 is like the most you'll pay for all those. As far as these poly bags go, they made quite a few of them. In fact, there's a lot of them if you go look on Brexit, and they all retail for about £5 to £10 each. I only paid £4.50 for this one. New, and obviously I've opened it and built it for the purpose of the review, and it's quite good. Very decent build, and you know, apart from its head, the only part I don't like about it is the head. Maybe, and of course you get one of those original versions of the ninja, which is quite cool because even when Ninjago do legacy sets, they don't ever quite get to this form too well. The way I see, if you're going to do legacy sets, maybe I would redo the exact original version of a minifigure, but maybe devalue them. Although, let's be honest, Lego Ninjago doesn't have a lot of value. Anyway, I'll see you for next video, which will be hopefully on Friday, an episode of Figure Friday. We're doing one of the updated Stormtrooper variants. I'll see you in that. What do you think of this? Do you want another Ninjago review? This is only the third I've done, first of this year actually. So maybe we do more, maybe we don't. I don't know. Leave in the comments.